Everything's about opening the game going forward. Great ball from Busquets.
I think he's onside. Messi with Kazan off his line. Messi off the post. Puts the follow in. Of course he did. 8 minutes in. Lionel Messi gets his.
That sounds.
Did you watch it on TUDN?
No, but it's the guy from TUDN. I know. Actually, it's not the guy from TUDN. It's the guy from ESPN who does some of the Real Madrid games.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was watching the
FIFA.
Dallas game right now.
I came into the office, so I'm not watching any more games, but I'll keep track of some of the scores. But
You're in the office?
yeah, in my
The
office.
oficina? Oh,
La
okay.
oficina. You know.
Damn, bro.
I like your hat.
Oh, thank you, bro. I just got 2 new ones.
Are they running hats?
I don't know. Nah, they're just like USA hats, I guess.
Where'd you get those at?
Nike.com.
Oh, sorry. Some of us don't got enough money to go on Nike.com.
I actually got the hookup from somebody. So lucky.
We'll talk about that after. But welcome back to another episode of Nonsense FC. Once again with my co-host Eric Cruz.
Welcome back, everybody.
Today's episode is going to be about Leagues Cup. I know we're a little bit late on what the tournament is about.
But it was a hell of a day to watch Leagues Cup today. I'll tell you that.
I wouldn't. All right, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I wouldn't.
I will say this.
Not today.
Go ahead.
In general, today doesn't
Have the blockbusterness.
No. It doesn't give you the context that Leagues Cup I think deserves. I think the tournament is going to be fun. For those of you who don't know about Leagues Cup, it is Liga MX versus MLS. No team can lose. So if the game ends tied in 90 minutes, both teams get 1 point. They go to PKs and then they get an extra point. The winner gets an extra point.
Correct.
So you can't end with 0 points essentially in group, which makes it more interesting because
you can't end with 1 point. Somebody always has to get 1 more point.
Yeah, but it makes it interesting because there's only 3 teams per group.
Yeah, so almost like a loss is almost a guaranteed. You're almost out, right? And a tie can go either way because if you win in PKs, then it's almost a win, but it's not really a win, right?
Correct. So it's a good tournament, I think. It a bit unorganized regarding calendar. I think they could have done a little bit better scheduling the tournament.
Yeah, you know what sucks, I guess, is what I didn't realize is that one team always has a longer bye, right? Because it's 3 teams per group.
Yeah,
so like one of them is always on standby basically for a while, starting at least.
Which I wouldn't really use as a reason or an excuse because teams always say we're too tired and then they get too much time off and they're like, we're not in rhythm.
We're not in rhythm. Yeah. Yeah. So I think you're a professional. You need to, it comes at you fast sometimes and you just deal with it.
Yeah.
I do.
Before
we venture off topic, I do want to talk about Messi because for the people who don't know, Messi's first game with Inter Miami was in the Leagues Cup. He comes off the bench and within 10-15 minutes he scores the winning goal. Or no, actually I'm lying. It was probably 20 minutes, huh?
Okay, but let me interrupt you while talking about Messi.
Okay, go ahead.
I will not say that Messi was the MVP of that game.
No, he wasn't. They
gave him the MVP obviously because he scored the game-winning goal and it was Messi. But in all honesty,
the goalkeeper kept him in the game.
I just watched the game and I want to get his name right, but
he had a hell of a performance. I'll tell you that. I don't know who he is, but that man was amazing.
Drake Calendar, 25 years old, from the US of A.
Oh, he
had
is from
s-
the US.
he had 7 saves versus Cruz Azul. Granted, Cruz Azul missed a lot of chances to go up 3-4-0 in the first half, right? Keeper
Yeah.
makes wonderful saves. Everyone's
Yeah.
here to talk about and hear about Messi, so take it away. What do you think of Messi's performance?
Today, let's talk about today. So the first
Yes.
game, because so for people who don't know, today is actually Tuesday the 25th. I had to look at my watch. I'm working 10 hours a day now, so my mind is elsewhere. Uh, but today they played their second game in the group stage against Atlanta United, and they came Messi and company just come off and walk around the park against these guys. The thing about it though, so people have some context. I think the game ended 4-0. It might have ended 5-0. I'm not entirely sure because I stopped
4-0.
watching after 4-0. And I want to say Messi was involved in basically every goal in some way. Maybe
It's 2 goals, 2 assists.
did he actually did he get both the assists?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was involved in every. I mean, he just had a stellar performance, and I don't even think he was trying, to be honest with you. That has to be the saddest part about it, is that Messi just seemed like he was floating out there and wasn't really, like
You know
performing
why
at his top level.
you know why you think he was floating?
Because he had freedom to do whatever he wanted.
And I seen your tweet to Hercules Gomez.
Oh, about he said no disrespect to the MLS. Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with
Yeah.
disrespectful to the MLS. Is that something
And
we agree on?
yes, but to my point, Messi always floated. He's the original false 9.
Oh yes, yeah. Once
Floating between lines,
and being the
moving,
playmaker, yeah.
yeah, moving from the
Starting the
9 to the
play and then
10.
and then finishing the play. Yeah, he's
Exactly.
always been amazing at doing
Yeah.
that. Yes. Yes.
Why we notice it more today, and I was texting with my uncle, and he's like, "Why is Messi just walking?" And I'm like, "He's not just walking.
He's scanning the field.
He's literally scanning, learning what the opponent's players are doing, their habits, and to be real, they just give too much space, not just to Messi, but in general.
Yeah, just in general.
For example, on one of the goals where Messi goes towards the left, and it was his first goal.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Uh-huh.
As
Just a
soon
little
as
floated
Messi,
ball. Who
no,
floated the ball to him? Was it Sergio Busquets? Or that was the first goal? It wasn't
that was
the
the
first
first
goal
goal.
then.
It was a second goal. It was a second goal.
Okay.
It was a second goal. So Messi grabs the ball at half field, right
Dry. Yeah,
right
moves it to the
after
left. Yep.
moves it to the left, right? But as soon as Messi touches the ball, the defense runs straight to the 18 box. Right? No one attempts to mess with him, get around him, touch him, foul him.
Or I mean, at least one of you guys stick with him. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like it's kind of
somebody.
like somebody stick with a player, right? Like
Yeah. So what happened on that play? Messi grabs it, plays it towards the left. He keeps his run going towards the PK spot, which we've seen
countless of
800 times. Joseph Martinez makes a run to the first post, opens up his legs, tap in for Messi, right?
Yeah, tap in. Yeah.
We say tap in because he literally tapped it in, but he created that play because defensively the MLS sucks, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I think that's the whole point, is that yes, Messi has always been a goal scorer and he's always created a lot of chances, right? But I don't think it ever came with such ease like it is coming in this game. And I think it does speak volume of to the talent in the MLS and how poorly they defend, right? That was poor defending all sorts of ways. Um, and just the lack of, just tactical knowledge of like where you should be on the field, where you should be positioned, how you should be defending. Like I don't know about you, but if I was playing against Messi, there has to be somebody with Messi at all times defending. Or you don't believe so?
I don't believe that you can man mark Messi.
if you're not gonna man mark him,
if you man mark Messi, say for example, you're playing against ATL like today, and you tell your
yes,
six,
man mark Messi.
Messi's your man, go wherever he goes. You end up with space in between your
In the middle,
midfield
yes,
and your
yeah.
defenders because Messi doesn't just float towards the center
Yeah, he
midfield.
drifts all over the
He
place.
drifts
Yeah, he
to the left, to the right. Sometimes you even think that Messi's been subbed off because you can't see him on camera. Right? You can't
yeah,
because the camera follows the ball, and
yeah,
sometimes he's just not
and
in
he's
the
not.
picture.
Yeah, well, he's looking for space, and he's looking. Then once he receives the ball, he's looking to see what he does. I get that.
Yeah, so
but I just think if you're such a poor team, right, like defensively, and the reason why I wouldn't do that, for instance, Manchester City doesn't have to do that, right? But why? Because as a team collectively, they know how to play defense, right? They all drop. If they lose the ball, they're in sync to recover the ball altogether, right? That's not something Atlanta United has. That's nothing that any MLS team has. So I think when it comes to that situation, right? Like you obviously you don't need a man mark him. But when it comes to a team where you don't have the team press that you would like, you don't have players in the midfield that would defend correctly, then at that point, somebody either needs to keep an eye on him, kind of like in football where you have a quarterback spy, right? Like I'm always watching the quarterback just in case, right? That's what you need to do against Messi in the MLS.
But they're two different sports. You can quarterback spy.
No, I'm just saying, like, you're not like going everywhere he's going, but you're keeping an eye on him at all times, right? Like, you're not trying to give him the opportunity to just do whatever he wants. And it just seems like right now he's just given the opportunity to do whatever he wants. He gets the ball and he's like one shimmy to the right, one shimmy to the left. He's gone. And then he's like giving this pass. And next thing you know, he's in the middle of the box pushing the ball in, like that's how easy he makes it look.
I don't necessarily think that keeping an eye or man marking Messi is going to work in the MLS. That's just my overall thought.
Well, then what is your idea then? Because you're playing against these teams that honestly suck defensively.
Yes. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Regardless of what Messi does on the pitch, the game is always going to come down to who makes the defensive mistakes first. Today it was Atlanta, right?
So you're saying if Atlanta could have scored first, then the game would have been completely different?
Yes. It might have been more back and forth. For example, Cruz Azul scores 3 goals in the first half.
Oh, then game's over.
Game's over. 1, 2, we might not even see Messi. 3, if we do see Messi, everyone's
trying to crawl. Yeah, he's trying to crawl back in it, and it's not going to work.
Right?
I see what you're saying.
That's my point. To keep it on Inter Miami, not just Messi, there's 2 players that are highly rumored to land in Miami. Suarez
Iniesta, and Jordi Alba. And
Jordi. Yeah, he's already.
Why isn't he playing?
I don't know. He probably hasn't arrived. He probably hasn't arrived yet.
Sergio Ramos is the other one.
Sergio Ramos. So it was Sergio Ramos and Iniesta, and then as of today, it's Suarez because he's gonna pay Gremio his release clause, supposedly. Which wouldn't be the first time a player does this to leave a team. But...
A team. No, yeah. Let me add, before you get into that topic, which I think where you're heading is that if actually, let's finish the topic. If they receive those players, Miami is a complete team. And I highly doubt that any team can stop them at that point. I think, and this actually kind of brings the point that I wanted to bring up. And I don't know if you agree with me or if you're going to agree with me, but it seemed to me like because of Messi's presence, I feel like the Miami players were like, I feel like 1,000 times better because Messi is on my team, and it just looked like they played better. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you this question because it's going to make sense to our audience that does play soccer, football. Have you played on a team that you knew players were better than you, and when you played on that team, you performed way better?
Oh yeah, yeah, because I feel the confidence that when I give him the ball, he's gonna do like the right thing,
And when you
and it
receive the
just
ball, you're going to receive it at your foot or in space,
yes, and it just
right?
makes it so much easier to play.
Okay, another point I want to make, it's not just Messi.
No, it's Sergio Busquets too. I think
He
Sergio Busquets
he had
is
a,
the
he had a
real
he had a better
he
first
had a,
game than he did a second game.
yeah, because he gave up the ball a couple times like a little too easily. But I
in
think
in,
it's
in places where they should
where
have
he
been scoring
shouldn't
on.
have. Yeah,
Yeah,
like damn near in his box. Had Messi been on the other team, he's scoring. But because it's the MLS, you know, nothing happens, right? Like
yeah.
the only dangerous player on that whole Atlanta side was Thiago Almada, I think. That was probably the biggest threat there.
Which after the season they might lose because he has
Oh yeah,
offers coming in,
I would hope so. I would
right?
hate to stick in the MLS if I was
So
him.
so it goes. I don't want to bring up the Saudi league because we're not talking about that today, but it goes to where the MLS is headed, right? You don't want to bring a bunch of washed up players to be here for a year or two and then retire because they're old. Almada's been at Atlanta for 2 years. They're not really building around him. If you take Almada out of the starting 11 today,
That
they
team
really have,
sucks.
yeah, they really have nothing there, right? Although they're doing good in MLS, but it doesn't seem to me like there's many players that are going to make a difference versus Inter Miami if they make mistakes like they did today. And if a defender is more aggressive with Messi, they might be a little bit more successful. But it's Messi.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know how you stop Messi at this point. And I will say this: I hope this is not just like a one-off game for Messi, and not to diss him or anything like that. But like, I personally think that he's gonna struggle in the MLS as the season prolongs, but not him particularly. I just feel like the players around him are not up to par. So it's like Messi can do everything, but then like, what's the point when it's gonna be like him and Joseph Martinez are the only ones attacking? You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying. I don't think they have the depth on their bench to make some subs. Honestly, I don't know much about these players, but number 16, he was playing on the
The
left hand side,
Was he the winger or was he the midfielder?
the winger.
Okay.
Um, he's very good, but I think he runs himself out of the game, if that makes sense.
Like he closes the field on his own. Is that what you mean?
No. Robert Taylor, the winger,
Yeah, the winger.
he runs himself out of the game because he's running so much that,
Oh, he runs himself to the ground basically.
yeah, exactly. And then same thing with number 30, Kramashi.
That's the
Both,
18-year-old though.
yes, yes,
He's
18
young
year.
though. He's
He's
young.
he's young. I wouldn't doubt if number 16 is young too. He's 28, but
No, that's not
um,
young. How much influence do you think or how much coaching do you think Messi is doing on this team?
too much, more than
Too
he
much.
ever has.
I bet, huh? I feel like he has to like explain everything to these players sometimes.
Here's
And I'll tell you
here's
the only player that looked in sync with him other than Sergio Busquets, Joseph Martinez. I think he was the only other player that I was like, I feel like he understands how to play the way Messi plays. And the rest of them were like just trying to find Messi all the time.
I agree with you. they make it so obvious that they want to give the ball to Messi
Yeah, that it's easy to know that the
that
ball's
it's
going
easy to
Messi.
know, but the movements that Messi makes is kind of impossible for the defenders to guess if the ball really is going there or not, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
So they're going to get away with a lot of things. They're going to get away with a lot of things. But I'll tell you this, once Jordi Alba comes to Miami, even if Iniesta and Sergio Ramos and Suarez don't come, bro, you know those balls that Messi gives Jordi Alba, those overlapping
Yeah.
runs.
And let me ask you this though: if he comes, do you place him as left back or do you play him more as a midfielder, like a left midfielder to just roam the field?
Mm,
And the
I
only
don't know.
reason why I asked, I've seen one left back. I actually seen a lot of left backs that can actually do the whole thing. One, Camavinga, plays left back, plays left middle, plays goalkeeper, whatever you want. But and also another player that I actually really like who plays left back, but will play in the middle is Zinchenko.
Mhm.
So I mean, it wouldn't be the first time a left back goes into the midfield, and just takes on a bigger role. What do you think about Jordi Alba doing that? Because I feel like he has more to offer than just defensive runs. Is my thing.
Yes. So for LAFC, they have this young kid, Allen, who I know absolutely nothing about, but I'm pretty sure he's like 21. Actually, he's 19.
Mm-hmm.
He's not bad. To bench him for Jordi Alba, obviously you get experience in that position. You get those runs that I'm speaking about. Um, and if you put him in as a winger, Jordi Alba as a winger, then you're essentially benching another
Another player.
promising winger. And if you put him in the midfield, you're kind of disrupting what chemistry is already being built with I think he's Panamanian, number 3.
He's not that good though. I can't. He had the poorest game against Cruz Azul. I'll tell you that. He just had a better game today, but against Cruz Azul, he was piss poor.
Yeah.
I
Here's
just
here's
me
another thing. Here's another thing to take into account. As I
uh,
mentioned to you, I still believe that a Mexican team is going to win the Leagues Cup. Right?
I believe so too. But I think this Inter Miami team, if Jordi Alba comes, I think they can give a lot of these Mexican teams a run for their money. It won't be so clear cut and simple. You know what I mean?
It wouldn't, and we still haven't seen
America,
it.
Chivas,
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of
Tigres.
Tigres. We haven't seen a lot of the good teams. And then once it comes to the round of 16 quarterfinals, Inter Miami might be lucky and play Orlando. But
Yeah, they
then
might get lucky and breeze through to the like semis, basically.
yeah, maybe I don't know. I haven't seen the bracket really well, but
But they have a good opportunity to getting far in the tournament, though. I'll
yes,
tell you that.
Inter Miami playing against MLS teams is going to be a very dominating performance by Messi, Busquets, Jordi Alba, Joseph Martinez, possibly, Suarez or Ramos. I prefer Ramos over Suarez just because defensively, I think he can bring a lot to the team.
And I don't think they need another forward, to be honest.
They don't. They already have Campana and Joseph Martinez.
I think that's
They're not
perfect.
they're not Suarez, right?
Yeah. This is me personally, and this is what I'm thinking. If you bring Jordi Alba, you keep the same 4 center backs, you put Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets together, and you put Messi right in front of them. Oh, actually, no, because then you still have one more player. And I was gonna say
No,
Campana
no.
and Joseph up top.
Yeah.
For Messi to just play with them. You know what I mean? Like just dime him and do whatever he wants.
It's still very possible for them to do a lot with what they have and what they want to bring in.
Yeah.
If I mean, I'm trying to keep my emotions together because bro, you have no idea how much I scream during these games.
I've been applauding, and I'm a Ronaldo fan, but I've been applauding because I think what Messi is doing is just like I just enjoy watching him play right now. Like
I
he's just having a hell of a tournament, and it's just like it's crazy to just see him win and just do whatever he wants.
I want to bring up. Well, I have two questions for you. The first question was a um trending topic or question on Twitter. Who had the best debut, Zlatan or Messi? That's my quick fire question for you.
I would say Ibrahimovic's goal because that goal was just crazy. It was just like damn, and I think he scored twice, right?
Scored twice.
Yeah,
For those of you guys,
but the karate
who,
kick had to be like the coolest shit ever, though.
that was his 500th goal too.
Something like that, right? But it was didn't he just like show up that day? Was that his like the first day he showed up, or had he practiced
No,
already?
the karate kick was against Toronto. The so
He
the
was like, or
question.
maybe it wasn't a karate kick, but he was like almost like a little past half field, and he like volleyed it, right?
He, yeah, that was the first goal he scored against LAFC.
Yeah. So how many did he have practice before that, or did he just show up
No, he
and do
showed
his
up.
thing?
He showed up at 3 in the morning. The game was at 3 p.m. or 1 p.m.
Uh-huh.
He was on the bench. LAFC was up 3-0. Carrasco scores 3-1. Somebody else scores 3-2. And then Zlatan comes in 3-3 and game winner.
Yeah, that's pretty
So
amazing too. I ain't gonna lie.
I'll try to put some highlights up so you guys know what we're talking about. But here's the next question for you. Messi comes off today around the 75th minute, 78th minute, goes to the
Uh-huh.
bench, hugs Raul Alejandro, starts conversating with all the VIP, starts signing autographs. He's taking pictures.
During the game,
Yeah, the game's going on. He's signing autographs.
I mean, it is 4-0 though. Like, what more can you ask for?
Yeah. Do you think at some point we see a decline in his performances like Ronaldinho at Barca? Essentially, he's already won everything. Essentially, this is too easy for
This
him.
and he's just that's what I was thinking. My brother had mentioned, my actual brother was like, "Oh, do you think Messi's just gonna like take it easy in this league?" And you think he like he was like, "Do you think Messi's nervous coming onto the field?" And I was like, "This man has won everything he needs to win. He won the World Cup. He's won every fucking possible trophy in Europe. He is probably like the most carefree person in the world now. Honestly, I think he's just enjoying playing at this point. And will that mess with his performance? I think it depends. If he decides that he doesn't want to play international football no more, then maybe it does mess with his performance. But if he continues to play for Argentina, I think deep down he knows like if I slack, I'll slack on the national team. And that, like the national team is something else. Like, yeah, Miami is like my professional team, but playing for Argentina, there's like un coraje, for your country. So I think he'll want to keep playing at a high level. At least that's what I believe.
I'm gonna agree with you to an extent. I just believe. Okay, I'm gonna agree with you 100%. What I'm gonna add to that is that he won't stay past this season.
You think he leaves Miami after this season?
Yeah,
Where would he go? The only thing I could see Messi doing is doing the same thing that David Beckham did. Was he came and played in LA, and as soon as the season was over, he's back in Milan playing for Milan.
well,
Or playing for Paris. That's what I could see Messi doing.
that's what's going to happen because MLS is over in October,
Yeah.
and then there's no soccer anymore until February.
Yeah, it's too long of a break for him, I think.
Okay. So what's gonna happen? You know what's gonna happen. You know where he's going on loan to.
You think he's going to Barcelona?
On loan? No. Honestly, you know what's gonna happen? That
I
that
would
was
not go back.
that was my nonsense for the episode.
Oh, that was your nonsense? Okay.
Nonsense for the episode.
Well, where's he going then?
Any Champions League playing team.
But let me ask you this. If he does that, though, does he stay for the whole campaign or does he come back as soon as MLS starts?
He stays.
And
then
then he comes back.
Inter Miami plays a few games without him, and then he comes back.
But then essentially he wouldn't have no off season at that point.
And
I don't know. I mean, I would. I think he still wants some off season. You know what I mean?
he
But
can't
who
afford
knows?
it. He can't afford it. You just said it. Where does he want to play? Where does he want to perform?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, in that sense, I thought you meant like he ain't broke, bro. But yes, in that sense, yeah. No. In that sense, in the physical aspect,
we already know he's not doing it for the money.
yeah, because he could have got more money elsewhere.
He
Yes.
literally turned down $1 billion for one season.
Let me ask you this, and now that you bring that up, if you're Mbappe, do you go to Saudi Arabia if it's for just 1 year for $680 million?
From your point of view, your perspective, and what you've said about getting the bag,
I would be on the first flight over there, bro.
for 700 mil for one season,
I'll be the ball boy, I'll be the water boy, I'll be whatever you want on that team.
if I'm Mbappe, I go play for a season, I get 700 mil.
And then I come back and chill. Play where I want.
Yeah, because he's gonna leave as a free agent, and he'll go to Madrid.
Yes.
And he wouldn't.
And he's
Madrid,
not gonna get that money. Madrid will never pay him nowhere near that.
not only that, but Madrid can literally be like, you don't need the money. How about I just give you
A Champions League.
a champion, give you the trophies that you don't have, one. Two, how about I just complete that Billy and offer you a contract 300 mil for 2 seasons.
No, they would never pay him that. I think the most they would offer him is 50, I think is what I heard. Which is a lot.
50 for 5. You round that up, you made $1 billion in 3 seasons.
Yeah,
5 seasons.
Yeah. That's crazy money, huh? That is crazy money.
But I don't know if he said this, but it was quoted of him saying that he's not playing for the money. So he's already rejected.
Do you think he has an agreement in place with Real Madrid already?
I don't think he has an agreement in place with anybody. I think he knows where he could go to get those trophies and to be that player.
I mean, I think Madrid is the only place you could do that at.
I mean,
I guess he could go to Man City too.
I can't personally say that, but
I mean, let's just be honest. When Neymar went to Barcelona, I was a little offended. I really wanted Neymar at Real Madrid, and I was so bummed out but I was like, he gonna win the Champions League over there. I know it. Coming off to Libertadores, I was like, that man, he's golden.
Can he fit at City?
I don't think so. Because, well, he could, but as a winger, not as a striker.
Yeah.
He easily could. I mean, come on. Holland would be like, I think there would be such a big rivalry between them two on who can score the most goals in a season that team would just be fucking crazy. It would be like everybody's nightmare to play against them.
How many days does July have?
31, 31, I think.
31? Let me go on this calendar real quick.
Yeah, 31.
31. PSG has till August 2nd.
If not, they owe him $60 million. $60
$60 million.
Yeah. I mean, I think
His decision's coming soon, and I think it's gonna be Madrid.
I hope so. I hope so because after what he did to us last season, it broke my heart. Can't lie to you.
Okay. And what happens? We talked about this through text message.
Yeah.
What happens if and when Mbappe goes to Madrid,
Madrid?
and they stink?
It'd be the Galacticos all over again. You know, like just the best team you could ask for, just not producing results. I would be so hurt. It would those losses would hurt. You know, like when you have it all and you're like, and we can't win. But I don't see a team that could stop us, honestly, if we had him.
Your last five Champions League wins,
Yes.
you guys have had average seasons,
Yes.
right? And every time there's a failure, it's always Champions League, semis, quarters, focus on this. Players are tired or whatever. There's only been 2 teams in the last 20 years that have won a sextete.
Bayern and
And
Barcelona.
Barca. If you can't do it with the super team,
I don't know if I wouldn't call it a super team. I would just say, and
you
think
would
about
not
it like this.
you wouldn't call
Listen,
Madrid
though,
a super team.
I would not call it a super team. Listen to this, though. If you told me Mbappe, Bellingham, Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Valverde, Rodrigo, and Vinicius were all in their absolute prime, which they're not, I would say Rodrigo hasn't hit his prime. Valverde has not hit his prime. Tchouaméni has not hit his prime. Um, Camavinga has not hit his prime. Bellingham is 19 years old, 20 years old. He's yet to even step foot in the, like, you know, in the Bernabeu. Like, I I I I see the great potential that they have, but they're not the established superstars that you're making them out to see. Like, they're great. Don't get me wrong. They're great. But like, I feel like 3-4 years from now, they'll be fucking amazing. And that, but you're right though. It would be a catastrophe if they didn't win everything this year. But just because they're so young, that's why I'm like, I don't, you know, the possibility is still there. They don't have the veteran mentality yet. But
you have
but
the veteran
but we
players.
exactly we have the veteran players that can instill that on them. Like, I don't think Toni Kroos or Luka Modric or Nacho Fernandez would like allow them, you know, like to make mistakes that they should not be making. They would be like, no, 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 no. Like, I'm gonna show you how you do this, you know?
Watch me,
And
because you ain't getting no playing time.
if you keep doing that, you're not taking my spot. I believe that's how practice probably goes. Luka be like, if you keep doing that, I'm gonna be here till I'm 50, brother. Just like that. And then you know how much that gotta hurt if you're a 20-year-old player and some 40-year-olds like keep playing like that. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be like, man, I gotta get better. I gotta get better. But last minute we have before the podcast ends. Anything else you want to say? Any last comments? I know we rambled on today after a Leagues Cup.
No. If you guys think there isn't any football being played this summer, there's a lot of good scrimmages going on in the U.S. I've seen a lot of great things from United, Arsenal. Barca hasn't played, but they're about to debut. Juventus is about to debut in the summer. Man U's doing great. Haven't taken an L yet, but there's a lot of football being played. Leagues Cup, Women's World Cup, which we need to watch and
Go
report.
USA tomorrow against the Netherlands. Get the job done.
Get the job done, ladies.
Something the man couldn't do.
That's
real quick to wrap it up, I just want to send best wishes to LeBron James' son. You know, hope you're doing better, brother.
And Saka ESPN FC.
Oh, yep. También.
All right, man.
All right, everybody.
Peace.
Peace out.